It is 6:45. On Tuesday, the International Monetary Fund said due to the coronavirus, the economy could drop to levels not seen since the Great Depression. Well, what does this mean for you and your finances? Joining us this morning, isolated himself, Dave Anderson, owner of the Moneywise Guys, with some ideas and suggestions. Dave, thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Anytime.
Okay, let's see. In the red on Monday, the market green on Tuesday. We're back in the red today. Once again, I think your main message to people is don't panic.
Yeah, from a financial standpoint, if you're an investor, you have a 401k, don't panic. I mean, panic never yields any positive results from a financial standpoint. Now, it is a time that you need to be cautious and make sure you're invested properly. But the fact that you've seen markets come down, that doesn't concern me in the long run, because I know the markets will recover ultimately.
Should people be concerned with how much the markets dip during this time?
Well, again, from an investment standpoint, no. So what we've seen in the past, whenever we see a very steep, aggressive sell-off, that generally is followed by a nice little bump. Well, last week, we had the best week in the market that we've had for like 45 years. Now, that's amidst all of these coronavirus fears. So those people that are just staying the course will do better, in most part, than those that are trying to jump in and jump out.
You know, the president coming back in, and there's been some discussion just yesterday and Monday when to reopen, when to start bringing things back. You're saying be more cautious than jump right in. Is that correct?
Yeah, and for a couple reasons. So number one, I want health outcomes to be as positive as possible. I want the least amount of lives lost. But history shows us very clearly that by focusing on health and following the health experts' advice, economies recover faster. So it's not a decision of do we protect lives or do we open up the economy? It's both. By protecting lives, by practicing social distancing, our economy will recover much more quickly than if we do not practice social distancing. And we have so many examples from this. If we go back to the Spanish flu epidemic, that's what we saw. Cities that took health experts' advice and were more cautious, they recovered more quickly financially than those cities that didn't heed the advice. So I think we need to learn from history and be cautious.
All right, Dave, and real quickly, if we jump back into this too quickly and coronavirus resurfaces, will it be even more devastating in your eyes?
It could be financially, for sure. That's really the risk when it comes to not focusing on the potential health risks here, because we could start opening things up too quickly. We have kind of a second wave of the virus. Let's remember the Spanish flu in 1918, when it got to the U.S., that was the second wave. It had already decimated Europe. It was the second wave when it came to the U.S. and ended up killing, I think like 450,000 people here in the U.S. So we have to be really, really careful. I think it's important that at this time, even from an economic perspective, we listen to health experts, because history has shown us that will give us our best outcomes.
Dave Anderson with the Moneywise Guys, every day noon, Monday through Friday on Kern Radio. Dave, thank you for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you. Appreciate it.